Happening, man?
Hi, brother.
Good?
To chat. Oh, good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly. Looks like a nice warm evening there in KZN, dude.
Yeah, out of damn water, man. They've blocked the pipes. Something on the pipes in Durban, so pretty much a whole of Durban doesn't have water this evening. Like no water, hot or cold. So I might have to jump in the pool just now. I don't know.
I was just about to say there's a big vessel of water right behind you if you're looking for some.
Yeah. I'll have a chlorine shower.
It's the best kind sometimes, dude.
I tell you.
And then how's things going, man? What's been happening? It's a crazy time for local fighters. How are you surviving?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a very frustrating, and I can I would assume a lot of other professional fighters are kind of feeling the same way right now.
Sure.
Fuck. I guess those fighters that have already got contracts with organizations overseas, it's awesome to see them getting fights, etc. I know some guys are fighting at Brave. We had Dricus in the UFC. It's awesome to get those guys competing and representing. I guess a lot of the other fighters that are kind of, obligated to EFC, etc., don't really have any options as of now. So yeah, we're just hanging tight, and we're hoping that we get to fight, or I get to fight soon.
I've seen you're not one to like really get a video going and start tagging people and try and get the word going. I'm sensing there's a bit of frustration from your side to really get active.
Yeah, I mean, I want to fight. I mean, I before lockdown, I was supposed to fight Dricus for the interim belt, so I was completely fired up, went into a full camp, and then lockdown hit. So we kind of dialed down a bit off hard camp, but it was still training like normal. And then I was supposed to fight again in November, which is what I was told, and that didn't happen. So the next fight was supposed to be in December. Well, I haven't signed a contract yet. So I was just it was a conversation that was had. So I'm preparing for the first weekend of December coming up. I haven't heard anything yet from Trotsky or Graham. I've spoken to Graham, and we're supposedly on. I have not signed anything in writing yet, so we want to fight. I need to fight. I don't like sitting on the sidelines for this long.
You mentioned the fight with you and Gideon has been on for quite some time, even actually like before lockdown really kicked in. How frustrating was it for you to see? I mean, you would have heard the same rumors that I heard about Dricus going into the equation and then fighting Gideon, and it almost seemed that you were getting sidelined and overlooked.
No, listen, I understood. I understood it because, well, obviously upset, but I understood the model that the EFC is going with, and I was actually pretty confident that Dricus was going to get to the UFC. Either one more fight or give or take a fight. I knew he was going to step in soon. I actually mentioned that to Graham. But the thing is, I mean, from a business standpoint, I can understand that would have been a good draw for EFC at that point. But Dricus is a big name. Trotsky is an ex-champion. From a business perspective, as a fighter, of course, I was upset, and I actually called Graham and asked him to what was going on with that. He never gave me a clear answer. He did say may have been a rumor, etc., but there was nothing confirmed on his end. So yeah, I mean, water under the bridge. I'm happy for Dricus. I'm happy that he's representing SA, and he's out on the big stage representing all us fighters from South Africa, etc. And I really do wish him all the best. And hopefully I get to share the match with him someday as well. I might actually, I hope to share the match with him someday as well.
100%. Please call me because I would love to see that. So you said there's
that's unethical. I think what goes on in the gym stays in the gym.
No cameras, just eyes. You mentioned that it seems like the fight with you and Gideon is going to be back in talks. Is there still going to be a title on the line if it happens? Is that the conversation you're having?
Correct. That is the conversation I had. I would like the title for the next EFC card. between Dricus and myself. But that was correct. That was what was intended. It was supposed to be a title fight for the light heavyweight division. Yeah.
And then what I wanted to ask you, I mean, if there's guys watching this that have never gone and had a little galley at your Instagram account, I would highly encourage that. Besides slinging lead out of AK-47s and kicking ass in MMA, what are your goals exactly? You want to pick up a title. You're obviously quite set on that title. I think we've spoken about till we blue in the face on the show. We really believe that you're a definite contender, and I think you will be a champion given the opportunity. What is your goal from there?
So with regards to my fighting career, the reason I do this is to basically I've been training since I was a kid, small as I can be, and ever since growing up as a kid, when we started jiu-jitsu, we were never UFC fans. We were Pride fans. That was when Pride was around. So we were Pride, huge Pride fans, my family. And I always said as a kid, I wanted to fight in Pride. I wanted to fight in Pride. And my dad's like, you're too small. Your body frame is too small. You got to get a bit bigger, from a kid. So that was always the first goal, to fight in Pride. But obviously now, the goal is to get to the pinnacle of the sport, which is the UFC. So that's what the goal is.
Okay. Obviously, I mean, your professional career is very young. How do you map that route out at the moment? Like it's becoming quite hard from here, especially we're sitting waiting to hear from the EFC. What is Plan B?
Correct. So Plan B is I travel up regularly to the States to train. I've already trained at Hard Knocks. I regularly train at Marcelo's, at Henzo Gracie's for my jiu-jitsu, etc. So we always travel up to train in the States. So yes, that's where we would look if EFC isn't able to come through, etc. And I hope that they do get back into their feet and we do get shows back on. But worst comes to worst, I'm not shy of moving across or going over to the US and trying to find opportunities there.
Okay, and would that be on a permanent basis, or just trying to travel to camps and find opportunities?
I would do, as of now, I would do fight camps out of the States. I'm happy to do fight camps out of the States. I do have businesses that are running in Durban. I've got Jits Academies here. I'm building and renovating a new one. So I've got things that I do. I'm a professional firearm instructor, so I do that as well. And hopefully, yeah. So there's an income that I do earn and make in Durban from two different sources, jiu-jitsu and firearm training, and I'm very passionate about those. So yeah, I would ideally go up 2 or 3 months to do a fight camp, and fight. But yeah, I'll always want to have my base here in South Africa.
I just want to share this mighty pic here of yourself. Is that you pre-lockdown shaped?
No, that was I was just teaching I was running a security course that day.
There's some intense security going on there. AK with the sight on.
Oh,
very nice. I'm a big fan of what you're doing. This one got my attention, and that's what I wanted to ask you about. We did notice that you packed on a bit of size, or not really size, seemed to be in some incredible condition through the lockdown. So was this an everyday occurrence during lockdown?
I've actually lost weight, a significant amount of weight, and well, the goal would be ideally if after this title fight or light heavyweight division is no longer stacked, we're going to move down to middleweight. So I've actually lost quite a bit of weight. It looks like I've gotten bigger, but I just lost a bit of fat. So I'm actually lighter. Cardio is way better. It's through the roof. But I'm the lightest I've ever been. I was thinking, years. I think high school was maybe as light as I am now. But yeah, a lot lighter than what I usually walk around at. It's being a lot stricter on the diet and really pushing through the cardio sessions and putting in as many sessions in as I can, really. But yeah, I've actually lost weight.
Fantastic. So you're the opposite of everybody else during this crazy time.
Yeah, I'm thankful. I've got my guys that train with me. I've got my brown belts, my purple belts. I got my brother. We've got guys that are the domination room, the striking guys. So we had a strong group of really high level guys to kind of make a circle and just keep training. So we actually revved up the sessions in lockdown, and the output, because we didn't have other distractions like work, etc. for a period of time. We just focused on training and went kind of ballistic for a while. So yeah, we kind of it was a silver lining in the whole thing.
Fantastic, man. The last sort of topic I want to chat to you about, Zak, if you can, is just a little bit of history about yourself. I've had guys tell me that you were into gymnastics at a stage. We know that you're a serious man with a firearm. You know how to hit the target with pinpoint accuracy. So just talk us through what was before EFC and what you were up to in those days.
So at the age of 7, I started gymnastics and jiu-jitsu. Literally, I started gymnastics 1 week before I started Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And the academies that I now own and run was the first academy in South Africa, first Brazilian jiu-jitsu academy, which is called Novagen. And they were founded by Micah Atkinson and Penny Thomas. And those are my coaches. And I received my black belt under Penny Thomas in Hawaii. She's basically the most decorated grappler to come out of Africa.
Yeah,
multiple-time world champion. Legend of the sport. So I'm so grateful to have gotten the gift of jiu-jitsu from her and from Micah Atkinson. 2 real mentors in my life. So yeah, I started gymnastics and jiu-jitsu basically at the same time. And I did gymnastics up until the age of 10 or 11 years old, but really competitive gymnastics, and actually had quite potential with regards to following that as well. At one stage, I actually wanted to go to the Olympics for gymnastics. But yeah, life kind of happened and we were directed into jiu-jitsu, and I kind of stopped gymnastics for a few years. And unfortunately, gymnastics is something you have to grow up with. So yes, I'm pretty athletic for my size because of gymnastics. But once you stop, your body will never be able to do what you could have done if you followed through. And that's just the fact of gymnastics. And I always say, if you want to get your kids to be proficient or amazing in any sport, you got to start them with gymnastics, because there's no sport or regimen like it with regards to body control, etc. So I was grateful to have that as a grounding. Then went into jiu-jitsu. Well, just pursued jiu-jitsu. Started competing, and when I was competing as a kid, there wasn't any kids doing jiu-jitsu in South Africa. I think I was like the first yellow belt child in South Africa when I got my yellow belt, and I remember that was a big thing. And there was never any kids competitions or anything. So what I used to do is when I was 14, I basically entered the Abu Dhabi trials, but I lied on the sheet and said I was 16, 17. I was 14. And yeah, we came up to Johannesburg and we started doing those because there wasn't any scope. That's when I look at the opportunities now, I think the kids of today got it so amazing. There's so many places for them to compete and travel, and we would dream about doing something like that. To the point, I remember as a child, I must have been 10 years old, I actually emailing Hoist Gracie and trying to get some sort of endorsement from them to come up, because we had nothing in South Africa to kind of push our career through. And yeah, then primary school, I played rugby. Played also KZN and primaries and the primary school circuit. Played a bit of rugby. I played hooker. I enjoyed it in the first few years and kind of got over it. Then went into high school. High school was a bit crazy, but towards the end, I got my shit together.
As we all did. Well, that's what we tell ourselves anyway.
Then I went on to study. I went to study architecture. I studied architecture for 3 years. Worked a bit in an architecture firm as well, but couldn't really sit behind a desk for a prolonged period of time. And at that time, I took over the academy. I think my first year of varsity, I took over the Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Novagen, and then started, looking into that a lot more, taking it a lot more seriously. And then I kind of fell in love with the sport again the second time. It was like a rebirth for me. Starting to teach, because teaching catapulted my game. And thereafter I started fighting amateur. went undefeated in the amateur circuit, and then turned pro. And now, yeah, my brother and I started shooting when we were in school. So we started sport shooting. My dad put us into sport shooting, and that's where we acquired the skills that we had with shooting. My Shaq's actually a fucking amazing shot as well. And because we had gymnastics, we could basically do things with firearms that most other people couldn't, because they lacked the ability to actually move their bodies as well as the skill of shooting. So we're kind of grateful for that, and that's why we kind of make those videos now and from time to time, with the tricks, etc. And yeah, those are all live ammunition, and none of that is edited, etc. But like, we would never recommend anyone else to do that, but it's something that we grew up doing, and I'm a professional in doing. So yeah, and then I turned that into my career, and then I became I'm an advanced firearm instructor with the PFTC, Professional Firearm Training Council of South Africa. And with my, obviously, my jiu-jitsu background as well, they kind of mesh in together quite nicely. And it's I've got quite a niche in the market with regards to that. So thankfully that I really enjoy that. And I'm grateful that what I enjoy as a passion, I managed to make a living out of, and travel around the world, etc. And then I represented South Africa at Abu Dhabi World Championships. I thereafter received my black belt in Hawaii from Penny Thomas. That's a major stepping stone in my life as well. Yeah, and then the rest is history. And then we're in the EFC fighting. Trying to get on the December card.
hopefully there is a card that happens, and we're going to see you on it.
Yeah,
I'm just pulling up one of these videos you were talking about, hula hooping and shooting, which is pretty damn amazing, if I'm honest. So
Thank you,
how do you guys come up with this stuff? You're just like, cool, let's get out there.
We were inspired by Dude Perfect. Dude Perfect has a YouTube channel that's pretty fucking amazing, and we thought, hey, we could do some really cool things with firearms that we don't believe any other human being on the planet has done or attempted to do, because it does involve a lot of risk, and you need to have a unique blend of gymnastic skills and shooting, which is not always easy to find in the same person. So like that one was actually one of the hardest ones, where I did the Superman shot, where we basically had to shoot the plate whilst mid-air through, and the landing wasn't actually soft at all. I fucking hit the ground like a sack of potatoes in that one. So we actually had to get the shot before. That was quite painful.
And there's been no like contact from, that's got to be quite heavy on the wrist. There's been no contact from like Bollywood or Hollywood or local filmmakers saying, get this dude on our show.
Funny you say that. I'm not sure if it's to talk about it yet, but yes, there are avenues in which we're currently looking at. And when things do take off, we'll announce that sooner or later. But yes, there is things that we're working on, looking on with regards to that, definitely.
Fantastic. That's awesome, man. Well, I really hope the EFC is back sometime soon. It's getting a bit nervy for all of us at the moment. And we hope to see you get that main event slot, man. I think we've been singing your praises for quite some time already, man. And we really want to see you back in action.
I hope you live up to that. Thank you.
We have no doubt, man. Thank you for your time, dude. And we hope to see you in there soon, man. Take it easy.
Thank you, brother. Have an awesome evening and a good week. Cheers.
Thanks, you too, brother. Ciao, man.